And we are live. How y'all doing today, Cash Sports? I am glad to be back with y'all once again, here to talk about more NFL topics. Y'all already know what it is, man. Before I get into it, please like and subscribe to the Cash Sports podcast. I would graciously appreciate it. Help a brother out, man, because each time you guys subscribe and y'all hit that notification button and I get live on here, one, y'all can join me on here, and two, I'm gonna put back more into the channel. I want this thing to grow, and I want more people involved. So whenever we have more heated, sorry about that, guys. I ain't even plug my mic in. I'm a bozo. Right. Yeah, my mic. I had a little mic difficulty here, so I had to readjust my mic. I'm so sorry about that. But once again, I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Like and subscribe to Cash Sports Podcast because I would graciously appreciate it. Because once I keep getting a bigger audience, once this thing gets bigger and bigger, I want more heated debates. I want more people to get involved. I want people to stay tuned, because the season is coming up. We getting football back again here pretty soon, right? It's been a long time since we had either football or basketball. Those are one of my favorite sports. I watch a bunch of other things also. But we got to stick to the hottest sport in the game right now, because it is about to be kickoff here pretty soon. So before I get into the first topic, right? I'm going to have some deals coming up here pretty soon that you guys can tap into. I'm going to get into a lot more betting odds and spreads and things of that nature as soon as the NFL season starts coming up. I am putting out betting odds videos at this moment for week 1 for the NFL. So y'all can stay tuned and look out for that. That's why I say hit that notification button, right? So first topic of the day. So before I tap into that, right, I got the link in the comment section. You guys can hit that whenever y'all want, whenever you guys want to tap in, right? So I'm gonna leave that right there for anybody who wants to join. So first conversation, first topic: Tom Brady returning to training camp to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, right? He was out for a couple weeks in training camp. He wasn't absent for a number of weeks. And so Tom Brady, in this past offseason, he announced retirement from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but quickly took back his retirement, right? And now he's looking to play another season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Tom Brady is headed into his 23rd season in the NFL. I know this is crazy. This is insane. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Tom Brady in the league. But you know what? He's still doing his thing. He's still putting up big numbers. So shout out to him. So he's back in training camp. He's trying to get the ball rolling. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are looking to make a statement in what might be Tom Brady's last season, not only in the league, but on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also. All right, so with Tom Brady returning to the Bucs means they're all in. They're in a different situation. There's some things that have changed with the Bucs. There has been some issues with the line as of recent. As I know, they don't have the same center that they used to have. So their offensive line is looking different. As I believe Chris Godwin also has an injury that stemmed from last season, so we have to see if he's ready to go week 1. But Tom Brady has receivers on this team, right? Mike Evans has the most 1,000-yard seasons out of any receiver since he's been drafted, which I believe is 8, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys can look that up. Mike Evans, man, he's been doing his thing for a very long time. I don't know if he's underrated, but the numbers would prove that. So, Tom Brady at training camp just lets us know, hey, the season is coming up here really close, really soon, and we excited to hear about it. So, reason why I brought up Tom Brady, he was the first topic. He was the first headline of what I need to talk about, because this goes into the next part of our conversation. And this involves Tom Brady could have potentially played for the Las Vegas Raiders. I know. Pump the brakes. What's going on? Why is this happening? When was this gonna happen? Right? So I'm gonna get deeper into it. I'm gonna explain to you guys. So I see people tuning in, right? I see three people watching the stream right now. So if y'all would be so kindly, like and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button. Right now I'm talking about Tom Brady. And there was some things going on as it pertains to Tom Brady potentially playing with the Las Vegas Raiders. So everybody knows about Tom Brady's situation when he was leaving the New England Patriots, right? There were some teams when he was a free agent. There were some teams that were out there that were, on the fence whether they wanted Tom Brady. There were some teams that definitely wanted Tom Brady. But then, and some of those teams are 49ers, Bears, Chargers, Raiders. I might have said Dolphins twice, but let me just throw that out there again, right? And so we ultimately know the end game, or the result of what happened, is Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're the only team that was fully convinced on the fact that he was still able to produce this late in his career. And so what happened with this situation? Why didn't Tom Brady go to the Las Vegas Raiders? And it wasn't just Tom Brady too. It was Rob Gronkowski. It was supposed to be a package deal, a 2-for-1, right? A buy one, get one free coupon. You get Tom Brady, you get Rob Gronkowski too. So what happened? Why didn't Tom Brady go to the Las Vegas Raiders? And here's what happened. John Gruden apparently is the man, or the reason why Tom Brady didn't go to the Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden was apparently convinced and sold on their quarterback, Derek Carr. Now, I am convinced to a degree on Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr as a quarterback. But over Tom Brady? Hell nah. That should not happen. Honestly, if I was the Raiders, in that year, when they obtained Tom Brady, the Bucks, that was the same year they won the Super Bowl. Just imagine that. Imagine if Tom Brady would have went to the Raiders and they would have won the Super Bowl with the combination of Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. So what does this mean for the Raiders? It doesn't mean anything. Right now, it's just a rumor. It's just something, to reminisce on and be like, oh man, damn, we kind of messed up there, but it means there might be a little bit more pressure on Derek Carr. Think about it. You have a quarterback. You give up an opportunity to get one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, the greatest quarterback in NFL history. But you know what? You decide to stick to Derek Carr. So, with that being said, Derek Carr needs to capitalize on his reason and his purpose on why they chose Derek Carr over Tom Brady. Now, I do understand the reason why the Raiders chose Derek Carr over Tom Brady. They're thinking about the long game. They're thinking about the years down the road. And it's completely understandable. It's a marathon, not a sprint. In some instances, when you're playing the quarterback game, you don't want to be fishing for quarterbacks. Because in my opinion, if you don't have a quarterback, you're in rebuild mode. I don't care what team you have. I don't care how good you are. You do not have a competent quarterback. You are in rebuilding mode. You don't got a quarterback signed on a long-term deal. You're in rebuilding mode. If you're the Seattle Seahawks, you're in rebuilding mode. If you're the New York Giants, you're rebuilding mode. If you are the Atlanta Falcons, you are in rebuilding mode. Until you have a quarterback on a big contract deal, you do not have your franchise quarterback. But unfortunately for the Raiders, they do. They do have a quarterback. But that's not the thing here. The thing that needs to be taken into account here is simply due to the matter that the Raiders could have had Tom Patrick Brady. That is what we need to look at. But given the fact that this season is coming up here pretty soon, Derek Carr does have an opportunity to give the good people, a reason to believe in him. Now, there is no way in hell we're going to say, we're going to look back and, that decision to keep Derek Carr over Tom Brady, it was the best decision we've ever made. I'm glad we didn't make that decision. Hell no. Ain't no drunk bastard out there should be saying that. Because that's exactly how you would sound, drunk. You sound deaf, damn, blind, or stupid, or very dyslexic. If you say, you know what? I'm glad we didn't sign Tom Brady because we got Derek Carr. I can't even say that without laughing, without having a smile on my face. But that's just the way the game rolls. That's how the dice rolls. Right? So this is how it is. This is the business. This is the nature of the business. And so Tom Brady took that very personally. Because remember, Tom Brady did bring this up in previous interviews and conversations. Tom Brady talked about how there were a lot of teams that weren't interested. And then he brought up the notion that there were also other teams that barely showed interest in him or were on the fence because they thought they had their franchise guy. So this is where Tom Brady is getting all this animosity from, because we're looking back at the comments that he stated so many years ago, right? Not too long ago. And he was like, are you picking this guy over me? Are you serious? Now, he didn't say no teams. He didn't mention no players. But he was certainly not content with the fact that some of these teams came to a decision that Tom Brady just didn't have it anymore. Even his own coach, the great Bill Belichick, didn't think Tom Brady had any gas left in the tank. But now we came to find out that Tom Brady ain't no oil vehicle. This man's a Tesla. This man got a lithium battery. Right? So that right there is a very interesting story. I mean, given the fact that now John Gruden isn't even coaching the Raiders anymore. He has a lawsuit against the NFL, given the situation that occurred with him, with that email situation. So that's going to be something for another day and time that we can have another conversation for that. But this is the reality of the situation now. John Gruden is gone. The man that stopped the trade is gone. Tom Brady is on the Bucs. And now Derek Carr is on the Raiders and has an opportunity to prove why the Raiders chose him at the end of the day. And he has, in this, given the obstacles and the toughness of his division and schedule, he still has Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, and Darren Waller on his teams. So there should be no excuse, especially if you re-sign with the Las Vegas Raiders. So before I go into my next topic, I want to let everybody know who is streaming in and watching right now. Please like and subscribe to Cash Sports. I would graciously appreciate it. I cannot say it anymore. Y'all see that Cash App at the bottom? It is optional. You do not have to donate, but I would also appreciate it also, because anything I get from you guys is going to go right back into this channel, right? So let's cut to it. Another part of the topic, or another part of the conversation that I want to bring up. Lamar Jackson was just offered a contract worth at least $230 million. You already know, man. We already talk Cash Sports on here. We don't just talk football. We talk about the money. Always here for the money, man. Stay tuned on that, by the way. For all my people who like to gamble and place bets, hey, stay here. Stay tuned pretty soon, because I'm going to have some deals coming up here for y'all. So, Lamar Jackson is offered more than $230 million contract from the Baltimore Ravens. So the rumor has it that Lamar Jackson has been hired, or has been offered, right, this contract, which is supposed to be more than Kyler Murray's, which is very reasonable. Because if you look at both of these brothers' career, between Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson has a better career than Kyler Murray at this moment. Lamar Jackson is an NFL MVP. He has been an all-pro first-team player. And not to mention, he's won a playoff game. He's got that one off his back, or lift off his shoulders, at least in that aspect. So with Lamar Jackson, this is why I wanted to talk about this earlier, way back when. Because we just don't know what this situation with Lamar Jackson is going to end up. Because the Baltimore Ravens now, they set their offer on the table. They've placed their offer for Lamar Jackson, which is allegedly over $230 million. But Lamar Jackson recently came out and he was like, yo, I ain't signing this. I ain't talking no contract extension. I ain't having no contract negotiations as soon as the football season kicks off. Now, I suppose, or I would assume, everybody here wants players to get paid. Every player should get paid. Every player should get the money that they deserve. We're all on board there. I would hope so. But something tells me I think Lamar Jackson is almost going at this at the wrong angle, man. And I know that he's being represented by his mother. And so they're representing themselves in contract negotiations between the Baltimore Ravens. But there is a reason why we get agents. Because they are the liaison between the team and you when it comes to these negotiations. These teams, they try to find any reason to not give you that money. They'll pay you minimum wage if they have to. They'll pay you pennies on the dollar if they really wanted to. But guess what? NFL has a players association, a union, so they can't do that. F out of here with that, man. Give me the money. We are Cash Sports. We want everything, right? And that's what Lamar wants, which there is nothing wrong with that. But if Lamar Jackson is offered a $230 million contract, what's the reason at this point? Why hasn't he signed it at this point? Now, there's still some time. He was just offered the contract, but we're going to have to find out later on in the future whether it comes to that or not. Now, remember, I'm just the guy outside looking in. And so there could be other stimulations and other parts of the contract which he might not agree with. Because when it comes to NFL contracts, there's a lot of different things that play into effect here, right? Like the years. How many years has he been offered? The guaranteed money, right? Incentives. They could be other numerous things also. But that's just, the couple things that I can think of at the top of my head at the moment. And so there's a plethora of things that needs to be considered when you're talking about contract negotiations. Look at what just happened with Dak Prescott. It was one of the longest contract negotiations I have ever seen, and one of the most secretive. I think you needed confidentiality to even be in that room to talk about Dak Prescott's contract. Top secret clearance. That's the type of clearance you need to know or to have in order for you to even be in the conversation to talk about Dak Prescott's contract. It's almost the same situation here. And so we know about all this other stuff that's going on with Lamar. That everybody has an opinion about Lamar. I mean, myself included. I'm sitting here talking to you about him. But I'm not one of those people to kind of talk down on Lamar and think, he ain't shit or nothing like that. It's definitely not. That's certainly not what I'm saying. But he's been very criticized over the years. Why? Because Lamar Jackson's accuracy has taken the hit over the years. People just don't believe Lamar Jackson is quarterback material in the NFL football league. And then so to win in the long run, to be able to win a Super Bowl, you have to be one of those guys to take people over the top, no matter what it takes. And most of the time, you win on your arm, not on your legs. I know, it's just how it is. This is the game. And so with Lamar Jackson, I just really hope that going into the season, if he doesn't sign this deal, that he balls the hell out, because he has no other option to. That's the only thing he should do, is ball the hell out. And 2, hope he does not get injured. I do not wish to. You know what? I'm knocking on wood now. I hope Lamar Jackson does not get injured this season. And 3, I just hope he gets the money that he deserves. Whether it's the highest paid, whether it's middle of the pack, whether it's more than Kyler Murray, whether it's more than Deshaun Watson, because the QB market is all over the place. You got a guy who hasn't played in a year, received the first fully guaranteed contract. You got Kyler Murray, deleting the Cardinals off Twitter or whatever social media platform he was using, Instagram, to get his deal. I see Lamar Jackson being a lot more mature in the situation. And not to mention, he has a better resume than some of these players, some of these QBs who have been getting paid. So I am on board. I do think Lamar Jackson should get paid the money at this point. But if he's offered that money, hey, don't leave that sitting there, because that is not always there, Lamar. So get that money. You hearing it from CashSports, man. Best advice I can tell you. But make sure you stay protected, man. Don't just sign any contract. You don't want to be like Kyler Murray and them, giving you homework and shit. So, last part of the segment I want to talk about here is the Dallas Cowboys. You already know I always got to talk my ish about the Dallas Cowboys. So going into the season, man, it's looking like the Cowboys are looking pretty slim here at wide receiver. What's going on here, man? See, if y'all tune in, y'all hit that stream, y'all hit that, that link in the comment section. I wouldn't be so free here to talk my ish about y'all Cowboys, man. But this is how it is right now. So, Cowboys, right? Y'all got some injuries at receiver. This is probably well, I'll say this. Dallas Cowboys, I think their defense is going to be really good this year. I'm not going to eliminate the fact that the Cowboys with Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, right? Vander Esch, even to an extent, Trayvon Diggs. I think their defense is really capable or able to pull through and help this team win some games. But the biggest question is that offense, and not to mention the coach too. We've talked about that before. Mike McCarthy, there's a lot of question as to what his role is. But I want to shift it to the offense because I know that's kind of where I want to keep the focus on, is the Cowboys offense. CeeDee Lamb is set to have a breakout year, so they say. Ezekiel Elliott, right? Yards per game over the years has disseminated. Hasn't been the same since he signed this contract. And so you lose Cedric Wilson. And so you don't have Washington, who's getting a lot of praise this year. And so there's a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott. Whether you guys choose to believe it or not, there's a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott this year. Because now he's got his money. Ezekiel Elliott got his money. Ezekiel Elliott will get his when he doesn't perform. But Dak Prescott is the quarterback of this team. He has to perform. They're giving him Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady money. So he's going to be expected to make these receivers look as if they're playing with Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady. That's how people are going to judge Dak Prescott. That's how people are going to look at Dak Prescott. There's a lot of pressure on on this Cowboys offense, man, for real. For real. I'm not just saying that, to hate. I'm being serious. I am. The NFC East hasn't had consecutive divisional champs in a while. So I can only hope that, on a serious note, that the Cowboys can get everything under control. They get into the season. They start off the season with some momentum, and they figure their offense out. They figure out their identity, because it's either one thing where they're rush-heavy offense, or they're the other one where you got Dak Prescott probably throwing for 40 to 50 times a game, or 30, 40, 50 times a game. It's one or the other. All I know is that when Dak Prescott has performed at the pinnacle of his success is when that Cowboys rushing offense was elite. When Ezekiel Elliott was putting up huge numbers. Right? So, this concludes our video here at CashSports. I hope you guys all tuned in. I graciously appreciate. I am very humble, and I love you guys, man. I love talking to you guys whenever, however, because this is CashSports. Once again, like and subscribe to the channel, and also hit that notification button so whenever I live stream, you guys can stay tuned in also. Another thing here, right? So you guys are going to start to see a lot of offers here coming pretty soon on my end. And it's not just, just me throwing things out there. I'm trying to give you guys things that gonna benefit you guys, and hopefully things that you guys can enjoy and would appreciate. So I know we talk sports, but at the end of the day, there's a bunch of other things where I want to make sure that my subscribers, for you guys who are here watching my videos right now, is that not you're looking good, feeling good. And so when you come on here and you watch my videos and you're tuned in on CashSports, you're sitting here or you're talking here on this platform, I want you guys to be good. I want y'all to be A-OK. I want y'all to watch these games coming up with no worries. Right? So stay tuned for that, because I am here not only for the sports, but for self-improvement. Right? So once again, this is CashSports. And I thank y'all all for tuning in and watching it.